Today we will discuss a new topic, meaning and the components of aggregate demand AD. Yeah. So now you see what is the meaning of aggregate demand AD. AD refers to the total value of final goods, not intermediate goods, final goods, and services which all the sectors of an economy are planning to buy at a given level of income during a period of one accounting year. One accounting year means what? Our financial year, which will start from 1st April, the 1st April to 31st March. Now you see final goods. So already we know about the final goods and intermediate goods. Final goods are those goods which are ready to consume, and it's come out from the production process where resale is not possible. This is called the final goods. And we know about the intermediate goods, whatever we need to produce other products. So in here we are talking about the final goods, not the intermediate goods. And one important thing you see, planning to buy. This is not the actual value. This is the planning. Suppose you have planned that today I will go to the market and I will buy a t-shirt like 2000 rupees or 3000 rupees. This is your plan. Okay. So in here aggregate demand, always you remember this is to planning to buy. This is not the actual that amount. And one thing you will remember that this aggregate demand is also called the aggregate expenditure. Why aggregate expenditure? So what is demand? So we already know that demand, it means willing to buy with the ability to buy, purchasing power. So when say I am using this marker, so when I need this marker, it means I have to pay 20 rupees, then that seller will give me a marker. So it means when I paid 20 rupees for this marker, so that 20 rupees was my expenditure. So that's why demand, aggregate demand is called the aggregate expenditure also. Is it clear? Okay. So see what I said, that I need this marker. So that's why I have to pay 20 rupees. So when I will give this 20 rupees, then that seller will give me that marker. So it means my demand what? Expenditure. So that's why aggregate demand is also called the aggregate expenditure. And during a accounting year, it means financial year, which is from 1st of April to 31st March. So this is called the aggregate demand. So aggregate demand means what? The as a whole demand. It is not just your demand, my demand. No? So this one is called the aggregate demand. So please you remember, AD refers to the total value of final goods and services which all the sectors of an economy are planning to buy at a given level of income during a period of accounting year. So mainly two things you have to see. One is the value of final goods and services, not the intermediate. And another thing is that planning to buy, not the actual buy. This is called the aggregate demand. Then see the components. So there are total 4 components. See, C plus I plus Z plus X minus M. C means what? Private consumption expenditure. Your consumption, my consumption. So already I said that I am using this marker. This one is my final consumption. To take the video, I am using my mobile phone, my personal consumption. Like this also you have so many demand. You are using so many things. Laptop, internet, mobile, bags. No? So these are the private consumption expenditure. So not only you, your parents are also consuming so many different. Your ideas, your choice, my choice. We all have different choice, and we always use different products. So that's why you remember private consumption expenditure. It means your consumption expenditure, my consumption expenditure, your parents' consumption expenditure. So it includes all the private consumption expenditure, whatever we need in our day-to-day life. Then another one is the investment expenditure. So it means expenditure by the private firm on capital goods. Clear? Private. Okay, private firms. It means private sector on capital goods. Third one is the government expenditure. So we all know about the government expenditure because this is the responsibility of the government to satisfy us. Because for example, suppose you have money, so you are coming to this school and you are able to buy laptop, you are able to buy mobile phone. But those who are under BPM, what they will do? It doesn't mean that they will not study or they will not use the internet. So that's why this is the responsibility of the government to provide education, other things to them. So this is the part of government expenditure. So not only the capital goods, government has to spend on consumer goods also. And last one is the net export. Net export means what? X minus M. X means export and M means import. So export minus import, it means when more export and less import, then this is called the net export. So now you see there are 4 components, C, I, Z and X minus M. So when you will add all these 4, then you will get the aggregate demand. Okay, but one thing you remember, in 2018 this question came like this, what are the components of aggregate demand in 2 sectors? Then you will write only C plus I. Even in this chapter also we will discuss mainly about the C and I. It means private consumption expenditure and investment expenditure. But if question asks that what are the components of aggregate demand, then you have to write all these 4. Is it clear what I say? If question asks what are the components of aggregate demand in case of 2 sectors, then you will write C and I. But if question asks that what are the components of aggregate demand, then you will write the 4. Is it clear? So see again quickly, meaning of aggregate demand, it means the total value of final goods and services which all the sectors of an economy are planning to buy at a given level of income during a period of 1 accounting year. And components C plus I plus Z plus X minus M. C means private consumption expenditure, whatever we need in our day-to-day life. Then investment expenditure by the private firms or sector, where on capital goods. Government expenditure too, we all know it's not only on capital goods, on consumer goods also. And finally net export, it means export minus import. So these are the components of aggregate demand. So I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and if you have any problem to understand, just let me know in the comment section below and I